So hello everyone, it's me Dark, and today I'm gonna showcase the Weather Painter deck that I've been building for a bit. It is not, I don't know if I could say completed. It can still be optimized for sure. But this is probably the build I'm taking to the original that I have next week. So yeah, let's start with the main deck, I guess. First, I run 3 Weather Painters now. This is the best Weather Painter in the deck, I would say. You always want to see this card. It's the starter, and stuff. You can, when normal summon, you can set one. I mean, not set. Add, put face up one weather spell or trap card from your deck, which is really good. Because obviously, if you start with this, you pretty much get a +1 guaranteed. And well, actually, it might be a +2, depending on what you pick. Next to that, I run 3 Weather Painted Thunder. This card reads: you can send one face-up continuous spell trap you control to the graveyard. Place one weather spell from trap from your deck face-up to your spell and trap zone. So yeah, you can remove one of your spells, or well, continuous spells or traps, which I run a lot of. That will get I'll get to later. Especially the Valhalla, I think it's called. Since it's not a weather spell, you can use it to special summon, then activate this effect, get a weather spell, and then banish to search for another weather monster, which is really good. I run 2 weather painters on. I have conflicts with this card. I don't think it's that good, but I still run 2. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one face-up continuous spell trap you control to the graveyard. Special summon this card in the face position, and if you do, place one the weather spell trap from your hand face up and the spell trap zone. So yeah, it pretty much summons itself again, but for the cost of a continuous spell or trap, which it's kind of iffy. Also, you need to have another spell. Weather Painter spell on your hand. Otherwise, he cannot activate. Other than that, I run 1 Painter Cloud, 1 Rain, and 1 Aurora. Aurora pretty much protects. The only problem is that she needs to be like tribute summoned or special summoned with other means. Rain, I think it's the one that adds. No, wait, that I'm wrong. If you special summon Rain, you can place face up 1 trap or spell from your hand, which it only comes up if you only have like traps and Rain. So I might cut her. I don't really find her that useful. And Cloud is the one when you summon, you can add 2 spells or from your graveyard to your hand. So which is kind of nice, but doesn't really come often unless people have removal, which they don't generally don't use on their main deck anymore. So I might add her to the side deck instead of running. But yeah, that's the monster lineup from Weathery. And for the boss monster in the main deck, I'd run 2 Metaltron, the True Draco Combatant. This card I have a love-hate relationship with, because you need to tribute 3 cards. It can be continuous spells, traps, or monsters, and it is unaffected by the things you tribute to summon it, which is amazing. But it's pretty much a -2, even though it's a fact that when it's removed from the field, you can special summon like any type of monster from your extra deck. Well, Link, XYZ, not Link, so XYZ, Fusion, or Synchro, that are not light or dark, pretty much. It's like fire, earth, wind, which I think I messed up somewhere. But yeah, it's a good monster. I might drop this down to 1. Add like the Draco. What is it called? The field spell that lets you search for Draco. Because honestly, it can be kind of bricky if you open both. Because even 1 struggles. You don't want to see this in your first hand. You want to draw it to it later. So yeah, and other than that, I run a small kaiju engine. I run 1 Gamma Seal, Humongous, one Godarla, and one Radian. I was running 5 Kaijus, but honestly it's a little bit overkill. Even 4 is kind of a lot sometimes. So I'm also thinking about dropping one of them. But you know, Kaijus are really good, especially with the interaction of the weather spells, trap card, that I'll turn into later. And for the hand traps, I run 1 Ghost Dogger and 2 Effect Bailers. I may switch these ones for Ash Blossoms once the Salaman Great deck, structure deck comes out, because then they'll be really cheap. But Bailer and Ogre are, I feel like, really nice still. They're really good hand traps anyways. Also, Bailer is the only common like monster I have in the deck, which is nice. So then, moving up to spells. I run 3 Snowy Canvas. This is the... Obviously, you can only have one type of... Well, not one type. One of each, whether spell or trap card at the same time. But this is the one you want to see. It lets you banish the monster. And then you can add one, whether spell or monster or anything, from your deck to your hand. So it's pretty good. You always want to see that. It's probably the thing you're searching with Cloud. With Snow. My bad. If you don't have it already. If not, you can probably look for the traps. Then I have one Rainy Canvas. It's iffy, because you can banish and make one trap or spell your opponent has go back to their hand. So it's pretty much... it's like kind of like Hate Trunade, I guess. But it only targets one card. But it can target, face-ups, as Trunade can't. Again, it's another card I run. I run all of the spells and traps until the new support comes. Then I have the Cloudy Canvas. It's a trap. It's a battle phase card, I guess. You can target one monster and reduce its attack by half, but it can attack directly this turn, which is really good going into time. Just like half your monster and do like 300 damage, 800. But you win with that. But other than that, you probably don't want to use this that much, unless because like the trap card is just better, which I'll get to later. Then the Sonic Canvas, I probably will cut this. I really don't like this. It's like a -1. I'm just gonna read it so you know. You can banish this card and target one monster you control, tribute the target, and if you do, special summon one weather monster from your hand or graveyard, but not with the same name that tributed monster had on the field. You can only control one the weather. So, like, you have to banish a card to activate, then tribute another monster, which is really, like, not that good, especially because the monster you tribute will not return on the next standby phase, because it will be in the graveyard. If it's the Sun guy, what is he called? It's just Weather Painter Sun. It can be kind of good, I guess, because you can pop this card back and return him. But other than that, I don't really use it. I generally side deck this out the second turn. But that's it for the weather spells. Moving to regular spells, I have 3 Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen. You can once per turn you can special summon a fairy monster from your hand. No restriction. Actually the restriction is you must control no monsters, which is really easy to achieve because since you're banishing your monsters constantly, you generally won't have monsters when you resolve this effect. I will also run 2 Call by the Grave, really good disruption. Because if you get your snow like Bailered or something, there's not much you can do since you're kind of reliant on the normal summon. I'll run 2 Pot of Desires. This deck can be kind of bricky, honestly. So banishing, it's like, oof. I hope I don't banish all of my 3 like important spells, all of my 3 snows. But it's still good. You could probably add Pot of Extravagance in here, or substitute this with Extravagance, but I can't really afford them, so therefore I won't. And for the one-offs, I run one Dark Hole for removal. You could probably side this out, actually add it to your side deck, because you generally want to go first, but if I am stuck pin second, I want to have at least some sort of removal. Obviously, a Raigeki would be better, but you know, I play one Monster Reborn. This is useful for when you extend into a link play, because your links take a lot of resources, or your X-Ways. So if you can return one, Weather Painter from your graveyard to your deck, to the field, my bad, you can activate your other field, continue spells and traps, which is obviously the main strategy. And for the last one off is Kaiju Slumber. This is a 3 now. I might want to move this up to 2 and drop one Kaiju out of the deck. You know, because sometimes if you open like only Kaijus, it's like, well, a terrible brick and you can't really do anything. But if you open Slumbers, multiple Slumbers, even though you can only use one per turn, you can still do something. Okay. Now, to end, I have 2 Thunder Canvas, which is, I would argue, the second best card of the deck. It's the start of the battle step. You can banish your monster, return the monster it's attacking or attacked to the hand. So it's really good removal. I don't think it targets, no, because it's on battle step. And yeah, it's really annoying. People that don't know how to play against this just like attack and don't read the card, and then they just get their monsters back into the hand or extra deck, because that works too. And I were on one Auroral Canvas. When an opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, you can banish that card and then they draw one card, which is kind of, it's not a -1 for them, but it does disrupt them, because if they don't draw a card they wanted, which is generally what will happen, they might just be screwed. And the last card I draw in the main phase is Skill Drain. This is really good. It has a lot of synergy with Weather Painters, because it negates the effects of monsters on the field. Therefore, when you banish your Weather Painters, their effects still resolve. So it's a really good disruption card. Not a lot of people can get over it, especially if they, if they don't have removal in their deck. Or spell and trap removal. Now moving up to the extra deck. This is kind of iffy deck, honestly. But I'm gonna start with the Link Monster first. I had run one Underclock, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Akashic Magician, one Sephra Metaltron, one Deco Talker, and over the Weather Painter Rainbow. Honestly, I almost never go into these. The only one you might want to go for is the Link Monster, the Rainbow. But honestly, sometimes it's not even worth it, because you need 3 monsters to make it. So you will make this like turn 5, turn 6, because it does add a lot of negation, but you will lose all of your resources for doing that. So it's kind of, I have, problems with this, with running the extra deck. You can probably switch this, especially these 3, for other Nightmares or whatever, or more X-Ways, generic level 3 X-Ways, because I'm only running 3 off. I run 1 Acid Golem, Break Sword, and Live Beer. Live Beer is really good, because you can return your banished monsters to the field. So you can, if you have like 3 monsters, you can activate a spell, go into Live Beer, and return the Weather Painter to the field. Which doesn't come up off that often, at least how I play the deck, but it's still good to know. And the last 5 cards are my targets for Metaltron. You know how I mentioned that Metaltron can special summon monsters from the extra deck. So yeah, when it's destroyed. So I added, you can change all of this for whatever you like. 1 Coral Dragon, 1 Naturity Beast. I know this lets you draw a card when it's destroyed, which is good because, again, the deck can be... My bad. The deck can be kind of bricky. 1 Naturity Beast to negate all the spells. 1 Stardust Dragon, 1 Stardust Warrior. You know, they're good disruption on the extra deck. I would probably change the dragon for something better. But, you know, it's kind of... And just for a big monster, I have Lord of Aesir. It can negate all the effects of all monsters on the field, which is really good. And it has a 3500 body, so you will really only lose this against like a Chaos Max, which I don't think I'll encounter many of. But again, you can change all of that for cards you like more. And to end up the profile, I have my side deck, which is again not optimized. I pretty much made all of this with the cards I already have, because I'm kind of on a budget right now. So I run 2 Frame Gear Gamma with the 1 driver. You know, pretty self-explanatory. I also run 1 Baylor, triple Twin Twister, triple Night Crush, because I'm expecting, you know, a lot of Sky Strikers and stuff. When they add cards, well, actually not Sky Strikers, that won't work. When they add cards, you know, whichever deck adds. 1 Solemn Strike, which again you could probably change that. 2 Lost Wind, and my Spice, 2 Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. This I would consider the 1 card that can beat Sky Strikers. You know, you can discard 1 spell, negate the activation of a spell card, and it can no longer be used for the rest of the duel. So it's like you hit the engage with this, it's just over. They can't use engage for the rest of the duel anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. I might have sounded a little bit uninformed, but it's just that I'm still learning the deck as I go. I'm still trying out new techs and stuff. But I'm hoping I can do well at the regional. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you later.